I guess I've created that character, the facade, I don't know, whatever that would look like. So it's boded me very well because I embrace people. Not everyone's going to like me, not everyone's going to love me, that's all cool. But that's what I'm about in that sense. What it has done is it's given me confidence.
Let's start with your North Star, right? So your mission, the thing that you grew up wanting, striving for, achieving, or wanting to achieve, what was that?
I guess if we were to go back, I guess it was to be, I just wanted to be successful, but not in necessarily monetarily. I mean, money's important, right? But just in every sense. I wanted to be the best version I can be. I love people, love business. That was quite a quick learn in my journey of work. So I guess it was it started there. I just wanted to become better and just, have great businesses, be around great people.
And when you say that started quite early, I mean, how early on are we talking?
So if you wanted to go right back, I've always been quite entrepreneurial in that sense, going back to when I would be trading pens for Bic pens and Parker pens and when I was a kid at school. And I would imagine that I really started to sort of, you become your own character, you start to know your own personality. So through my teenage years, I would say.
Okay. And the driver to be better was what, though? What was it that you were...
Yeah, I just think there's so many opportunities just for us out there that I just want to be the best version I can try and be as a dad, as an owner of businesses, as a friend, as a son, as a father, as a husband. I just think there's a lot, and I'm not trying to get too woo-woo on this, but I just think that, every day I do challenge myself. What can I do to be better?
Because what I think that I've certainly known of you, and it's interesting you said about being around people, is that you have this way with people. And I know you used to work in sales. I'm right in saying, were you an estate agent or commercial agent, right?
Yeah.
So there was that, and there's the component of doing stuff and making deals happen. And then eventually that led into you running your own businesses. And
yeah, I think that's so. Firstly, I am a salesman. That's what I always find about what people say about salesmen is it's kind of a bit he's a salesman. It's a bit cheap. It's a bit the dealer, the wheeler dealer. But in actual fact, the way I look at it in terms of a salesman is that first it's bloody difficult, and because you're looking at forming relationships, you are trying to find the right fit for the person, and so naturally I love people, and that then forges into business and so on. So I think that probably came very natural to me in that sense. I'm not methodical. I have got dyslexia, which is very common. Didn't really know it back at then when I was in a class, in the what they call the special class in Mrs. Bowker's. There was always a bit of a question mark while I was sitting there with three in a room, when in actual fact I just sometimes I couldn't get it at school. Just can't understand it. So I look out the window. I guess that's probably where I would have said it's a big part of me is. I'm a people's person in that sense.
And what do you think came first, being a people person in sales, or a desire for sales and then realising that you're good with people? Right, okay, so wanting to be around people, wanting to be able to do that component of things.
The Joker at school.
Right, yeah.
That kind of character. And it was always about that. I wasn't a shrinking violet necessarily, and I think that probably was a cloak for maybe, on reflection, probably the educational part, maybe that might have been.
So because there'll be people that will listen to this that do know you, and you are typically quite or at least come across, and we'll come on to that, quite an extroverted character.
Yeah.
And I know I joked at the beginning about the cravat and the waistcoat and the green trousers, the red trousers, the yellow trousers, and the Larry shoes and whatever else it might have been. But there is a component of that comes from a place often that is not what most people expect.
Yeah, I now actually look at it that it is a bit of it's a cloak in many sense. That if I was to show up and just be quite solemn and just quiet, and you'd go, "What, are you right?" Like, that is not. You turn up, it's all light and it's shine and it's it's noise, and so it goes. I guess I've created that. Is it the character, the facade? I don't know, whatever that would look like. So it's boded me very well because I embrace people. Not everyone's going to like me. Not everyone's going to love me. That's all cool. But that's what I'm about in that sense. What it has done is it's given me confidence. So that, I think, in the earlier days, when I don't understand something and I don't get it, is being quite a big personality in that sense. It allows me to go, like, it's all show, don't get it, talk to me about it, and yeah, come from that place. And I think as well, not breaking people down, I think you get more from people when you actually become more human, and there's love there, and they're willing to join you on a journey, and whatever that journey might look like.
Interesting, yeah. So Todd Herman, he's a peak performance coach, wrote an amazing book called The Alter Ego, and he's worked with the likes of your Serena Williams and like real high level professionals to really be at the top of their game. And they talk about the alter ego, and Beyonce Knowles, she has hers, doesn't she? There's a name, it will come to me in a minute, that I think it's Sasha something or other, that when they're in that character, it's like, you're a different person. And that's what I'm sensing that is for you, is that when the Larry waistcoat goes on, the Larry trousers go on, and the character's on, say, hey everyone, there's this over energized guy. That is the Neil Sweeney, the character, and then there's the Neil Sweeney that Tiffany sees at home. But there's times when you are still that same person, right? So it's
Definitely.
not like it's not like it's not something it's not a fake version of you. It's just a different side of the persona.
I think that it's a really good example of it. I was at the dinner, and I've come in, funny enough, I was wearing the whole charade. It was all on because I just fancied I was in that zone. The crazy red chinos, the whole thing was there. And I sat at dinner and I sat with the chap, Ben Allgate.
Yep.
Lovely guy. And now we sat together and we actually had some really great conversations. And from that, and he was really open and honest and went, when you turned up, you were there, you knew everyone, you're shaking hands, and it's all a bit. And he said, I've got a totally different perception of you sitting with you at dinner. You're a very different person when I see it. Now, I don't know what I learned from that, but what I do know is it's interesting how someone could perceive you, to then maybe once you actually take a layer off and you get to maybe some more depth, what you can be like.
Yeah. And what is beneath the layers for you? Like when you describe yourself as Neil, the person beneath the layers when the cloak is off, who's that?
That's a deep question. It's a great one. I have a big thing for me is family. It's obvious, for many people, of course it is. And I think for that is to really create and support my world, my family. So a lot deeper there. Lots of care. Everyone cares. I care. I put a lot of love out. I think because you get tenfold back in every sense. So I think in answer to that question, you'll see the dancing, you'll see the crazy red chinos and all of that jazz. But for me, it obviously runs a lot deeper about helping other people as well, what they want, and helping them on their journey.
Because there's something that I found, and I appreciate you sharing the situation where someone can create an expectation of who you were. And look, we've all done it, haven't we? We judge people on... Most of us will judge someone on their behaviours, but we judge ourselves on our intentions.
Yeah.
And what you're saying about there is by you going over and to say, hey, everybody, how you doing?
Yeah.
That's a demonstration of you caring. That's your intent.
Yeah.
But somebody else might go, who do they think they are?
Yes.
And that's the difference, isn't it? Is there anything that you choose to do on a daily, weekly basis that's a real practical thing that someone listening to this right now could take away that you intentionally do to show people that you care? It's almost part of your, like, I do this every day, or I do this every week, or when I see someone, I make sure I do this.
Okay, one thing I do, if I think of someone, I let them know.
That's cool.
That is one thing I do, and it can be any time. And it might just be if I haven't got time because I'm buzzing around, but I'm just thinking of them. You would have had a message, it's a FaceTime message, just, how you doing, mate? I'm just thinking about you. Love you, hope you're good. Sometimes it's that, or if I'm out and I've got the time, and I'll just ring, check in. Then again, it can be, let's get together. We haven't seen each other, let's go for a lunch or a break or whatever. I think that's really important. I don't get that enough. I probably just don't get that enough. How lovely is it to receive that I'm just thinking of you. How you doing?
Yeah.
How's your well? But how are you? How are you really? You know, on this great journey of ours on this little planet.
I love that. I think that's such a great exercise to be able to go through and do. Yeah, as and when you're thinking someone, drop them. How easy is it to say, drop them a voice note, drop them a quick video. That's one of the things that you do as well. You will often do video notes to people and send them a video, which I think is quite interesting. In today's day and age, lots of people voice note, lots of people text, then there was voice notes, but you take the time to actually do a video. And
I think it takes me longer to write things out, to think about what I want to express in text and written form. So, and that's been such a, I mean, I've been doing it for years, such a blessing. Ping a one-liner on voicemail or a video.
I'm going to be sending a free copy of my book, North Star Thinking, Master Your Mindset and Live a Life You Love, to someone that comments on this video. And if you're loving this video, then hit like and subscribe to get more.